Hey everybody, Troy, Roadside RC. Today in this video, we are going to be working with some different bearing oils. So we have literally 6 different high-speed bearing oils, and we have a whole pack of bearings from ProTech RC, and we're going to be putting them through the process, testing them on our drift car. Which one of these bearing oils actually produces the least rolling resistance, the less friction for these bearings for our drift car? What you've seen, if you look in our past videos where we did some different tests on different kinds of bearings, right? I can put a link to that up here in the corner. We used this Racing high-speed bearing oil, and it worked good as near as we can tell. But I got a bunch of feedback from a whole bunch of people to say like, oh no, but you got to use the bearing oil that I use, right? And so I got some of those that other people suggested, such as this SIN racing oil from ACER Racing. But then I also picked up a whole bunch of others. Somebody suggested this Liberty oil. I got it. We also ended up with zero friction products. We ended up with ArrowMax high-speed bearing oil and RC Tiers, 100% racing RC Tiers. And we took ProTech Racing. What we did is we got the metal shielded bearings. The reason why I got the metal shielded is in our bearing test, depending on the location of that rubber seal made a difference in how the bearing rolled. And so these metal shields, they should all be the same, all very high precision from ProTech RC. And so I expect that the shielding will have a zero impact and we'll only be really testing the oils themselves. We also found the last time we did this, did a test on bearings, that cleaning them made a huge difference. And so I put 9 of the 10 bearings in this with mineral oil. It's been almost 24 hours now. We've done a lot of shaking it up. We've done a lot of trying to get it clean. It's time to get these out of here, get them dried off. I left one bearing absolutely untouched. And so we will test it also just as a baseline. We will leave one of these as cleaned only. We'll put zero oil on it just to give it also as a baseline. And then we will use one bearing for each one of the competitors here. In case you have not seen the previous video that we did, we took a simple weight, actually an Arma Outcast wheel, with a straight line of tape that has been folded over on itself so it's not sticky. What we do is we roll it around the wheel, make sure the wheel is pointed straight, and we bring it up just until it touches. And then all we do is release and count and measure with a stopwatch how long it takes to stop rolling. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the untouched bearing. This is the ProTech bearing. It's just as it comes out of the kit. It rolled for 6.23 seconds. All right, we're going to do this 3 times. That way we can see the difference as it rolls, and then also make sure that we eliminate any abnormalities out of the data. This is a bearing with nothing, just been cleaned only, nothing else done to it. 1, 2, 3, go. Hmm. 18.13 seconds. So a noticeable improvement, just like we saw before. Just cleaning the bearings themselves makes a big difference, but it also takes all the oils out, so we're going to have to put some oils back. All right, so interesting results after the first round. So the untouched bearing, 6.2, 5.5, 6.8. So somewhere in that basically 6-second range. All the other 9 bearings, I cleaned them, and so only cleaned at this point. And you'll see a pretty wide range actually of figures coming out of this. So we have a whole group here, 21 to kind of 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearings kind of in that 21 to 17 range. These last 4, when I first tested them after cleaning, were only in like 6-second range. And so I cleaned them again, and now all of a sudden 39, 30, 30, and then 14. So I think you get a fair amount of variation even within a pack. And this bearing, there might be something legitimately wrong with it because, you know, cleaned twice and it still only rolls a 14. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out, we need 6. We need 6 good bearings from right there in the core. So we're going to take the 6 middle numbers, the closest grouping that we can get, and that's going to be the ones that we use for our test. RC tiers, test number 1. 1, 2, 3, go. And this is a good roll with it. What have we got? It still hasn't stopped. Oh my gosh, lucky roll 25.4. First roll with the ArrowMax. 1, 2, 3, go. 25.64, almost the same as the RC tiers. First run with the Liberty oil. 1, 2, 3, go. 25.72. This is amazing so far. So far, all 3 oils on their first rolls have been within 0.3 of a second. First test of the ACER SINA oil. 1, 2, 3, go. 22.85. This is the first run of the zero friction oil. 1, 2, 3, go. 'Got a lucky roll. 25.14. First run for the Racing bearing oil. 1, 2, 3, go. 23.65. Okay, I've crunched the numbers and we officially have results. It's kind of interesting. So I just showed you guys the first run of every bearing, but I actually ran every bearing 3 times, averaged them together to get what the results were. And so very, very clearly that comes out of this is the only real true loser out of the whole bunch is if you just never touch your bearings. If you open them up out of the box and you just leave them and you never touch them, that's the only way that it gets super slow. Here are the results that we have. So like I mentioned, the untouched bearings way up here at the top, this is really your losers in this whole test. We end up at 6.18 average time spinning, massive difference. When we did all 9 of those bearings just getting cleaned only, brought it all the way to 23.2. Now, one thing that I think is super interesting about this is all the testing I did before said as soon as I put racing oil on it, it actually got slower. And then today, we repeated that same thing. The racing bearing still spun 25 seconds, but it started with a bearing that was running 30 seconds when it was clean, so it went down 5 seconds. But check this out. I have ArrowMax, Liberty, and Zero Friction that are all in that 24 to 25 second range, and they all were faster than their non-lubed time by 6, 8, and 7 seconds. So really, when we talk about our winners here, this ArrowMax, this Liberty products, this zero friction, there you go. Those are all the ones that I would choose. In the middle somewhere here, right, you have your RC tiers that came in at 23 seconds, about 1 second faster than just the cleaned bearing. So not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but just not great. And then all the way down here, the SIN by ACER Racing. Again, up 2 seconds, but really only 21.9. Like, it just, from the first run all the way through, you could just tell it was not spinning as good as the other ones that we had. And then the Racing, like I mentioned, only one to actually have made it slow down. And so Racing oil, yeah, this one's probably going to go in the trash. These SIN and RC tiers, I'll keep them around. I mean, they're not bad, but you know, they're also not going to be the one that I'm going to use in the bearings that I really care about. These three: zero friction, Liberty oil products, high speed bearing oil from ArrowMax. These are the three. These are the ones that I would be using. Whichever ones, I'm going to put links to these down in the description below. So actually links to all of them, but I'll highlight these. These are the ones that I would recommend you go out there, pick up, and use based on my testing. Now, let me be clear. My testing might not be right for your application. You can see exactly what I'm doing here. I am trying to minimize the rolling friction on the front wheels of my drift car in this size of a bearing. All right, if you are going to be out there in a dirt off-road environment, maybe the answer is different. If you're going to be doing off-road jump conditions, maybe your answer is different. But this is what I have, and if you're going to start doing your own testing, I'd still start with those three. If, hey, local wisdom and everybody at your local track says that some of these others are better, awesome, go for it. You know, no complaints whatsoever. Like I said, really, truly, the only real loser that you have here is if you take a bearing out and you don't clean it and you don't lube it at all, if you just run it as it is. That's really the only one that really stands out really negatively. So thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. If it was, leave a like down below. Come over here, check out some of the other videos that we got going on, right? We got drift videos, we got racing videos, we got crawling videos, we got all sorts of stuff. Come over there, check some of those out. We will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.